Ubisoft is dead. There is nothing that can be done about this. Tencent is taking over, and the company is entering its last death spiral, aka when the CEOs start blaming everyone except themselves, because obviously.
Hey, what's up guys, Up here. So today we're going to be once again talking about the historic downfall of Ubisoft. There's been a lot of recent events, including some new ones we're going to cover in this video, including some more bad PR generated by public statements from one of its employees. But ironically, right now we're witnessing a giant spike in Ubisoft's stock, one of the biggest in the company's history. However, that has to do with something entirely different, and that's the fact that it appears Ubisoft is going to be bought out in a desperate attempt to save this company. Now, before we get into the details,
buying out the company has absolutely nothing to do with a desperate attempt at saving it, by the way. The current word on the block is that Tencent is going to buy Ubisoft out, which I really don't think is going to happen, if I'm being completely honest, because that's not what Tencent does. They buy out companies and become a majority shareholders, but they don't really go around fixing companies. Tencent buys your stock and then literally doesn't tell you to do anything except keep doing what you're doing because you're making money. That's what Tencent does. So this is pure speculation at this point that Tencent's going to do it. And this spike in the share price, by the way, if Tencent's going to buy it, they don't have to rush. They can wait a half a year until they buy it. They can just wait until the price drops again. Because people are, well, some people are going to be stuck holding the bag, but a lot of will sell and it's going to drop.
Of that, let's just remind ourselves where we're at with Ubisoft. A lot of people don't really know that 2023 was a disastrous year for Ubisoft. They had around a net loss of $500 million that year. Then we enter 2024 where they've had basically flop after flop after flop, leading to another
Skull and Bones disaster. And yes, sure, Malaysia did pay for the game, but trust me, Ubisoft spent their money also on that project, 100%, because it's Ubisoft. Star Wars Outlaws is most likely going to be at the bare super minimum, only a 200 million loss for them. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is probably going to be more, way more. So, Ubisoft is cooked. Heavily cooked.
50% decrease in their market value, thanks to their absolutely terrible, their nightmare-inducing resume this year, beginning, of course, with Skull and Bones, which was allegedly $850 million to develop, just to end up...
No way! Because the last report for this was that Malaysia, or whichever country, decided this is a good idea to give Ubisoft money, gave them like 300 or 400 million to do this. I think it was 300 million. So I can already explain what happened here if this is even remotely accurate. So, considering how long Skull and Bones was in the oven, it obviously got burnt. So Malaysia or whatever gives Ubisoft money, Ubisoft is happy, everything's happening, then they start making the game and it's shit. They start remaking it, they're doing things like that, and considering women don't know what to do with money, they spent all of their budget probably in a matter of, 2 or 3 years. And then Ubisoft needs to put in their own money, because you can't fucking just say, yeah, Malaysia, you know those 300 million that you gave us to make this stupid game? Well, it's gone. You can't do that. You can't do that. So Ubisoft had to pour in their own money into this. And wow.
Up in the $10 bargain bin at Best Buy a few months later. Then we have Star Wars Outlaws selling just 1 million copies in its first month, a game that presumably took hundreds of millions of dollars to develop. Then we, of course, have the news about Assassin's Creed Shadows. It is now delayed until February of next year. This was basically...
And this is not going to change anything. People are not going to magically forget that Assassin's Creed Shadows is a, abomination upon God's green earth.
Basically, the last bullet in the chamber for Ubisoft this year. Now, it's a part of next year's series of flops. And on top of that, there's rumors out there that this delay isn't even going to be enough. They're going to have to probably delay it even further beyond that February mark. And that's from...
The funny part is, they can delay it if they want, but it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna change anything. Because they're never gonna actually, like, get rid of Yasuke. If they do that, there's gonna be riots in their offices because everyone there is woke. So they can't do that.
From a stem of rumors that an insider at Ubisoft have been sharing, and that includes many allegations about the workplace environment and how dysfunctional the company is, and how they very clearly, according to this insider, prioritize virtue signaling and politics over creating games that people will enjoy. And that's really where we've left off things recently.
We know this is...
You know, for the 100th time, I'm going to say, oh, things can't get worse, and of course, it does. And this is the most recent set of drama here, and it begins with Stevie Chazard. So this monetization director at Ubisoft would go onto LinkedIn and share this absolute disaster of a post recently. And of course, it's very ironic that the monetization director is making something that is clearly not in the monetization interest of the company by basically...
The games industry is rough at the moment. We all know it. Bullshit. It's not rough at all. Look at Space Marine 2. You're gonna tell that it's rough for them. Look at Baldur's Gate. Are you gonna tell it's rough for them? Okay, make a good enough game, people will buy it. There are no excuses to this rule. Make good thing, people buy it because it's good thing. It's very simple.
Insulting all of their customers and also people within the gaming industry. So let's read this, because I genuinely believe the attitude of this individual represents more people at Ubisoft and really is the reason why they are failing so badly. So he begins by saying, I rarely post on social media, but today I am sad, ashamed, and sad. The gaming industry is rough at the moment, we all know it, but seeing how, in quotes, gamers react on social medias, wishing ill fate to companies and people alike, is sad. And not...
You go, guys. You go. We got this. Keep wishing sad things to Ubisoft. It is what it is.
Not only towards Ubisoft, even...
Not in the bad ways, YouTube, but in the ways that tell them that their games need to be better and they need to be better. Not personal attacks and things like that. YouTube, stop.
No, it's always the vocal minority that expresses themselves on social media. I was hurt and ashamed to be a part of this community. What is even more revolting is coming on LinkedIn and seeing the same comments from people within the industry, on top of exposing yourself as a clearly non-decent human being. You are affecting thousands of employers or employees that are already impacted by all of the hate, despite doing their best to deliver incredible experiences.
Doing your best, which, by the way, I really doubt that these people are even remotely trying, because virtue signaling and making a game is two different things, first of all. I really doubt that they're trying. And doing your best doesn't mean that you're doing good, okay? You can do your best and it's still shit and you deserve absolutely no glorification for that. Doing your best doesn't cut it, because doing your best is not some kind of measurement of success. Doing your best is maybe shit.
How can you wish a company to fail simply because they do not cater to you or that the product does not please you? Is
very simple, in fact. I do it all the time. I hope everyone does it all the time.
It's beyond me. We are all on the same boat. Please, 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 stop spreading hate. We should all uplift each other instead of bringing each other down.
Now, obviously, I don't need to tell you that this guy is probably a testosterone-deprived, weak beta loser, but he is. Because this is what the weak do. The weak get in groups, and the weak try to force other people through sheer volume of mass to succumb to their wishes. Because the weak are failures, the weak don't know how to do things properly, and the weak in general destroy everything. But the weak don't want to be called weak, so they need to change the world around them. So this is why people like him are constantly talking about, oh, stop hating on us. Oh, why can't we just uplift each other? Because then their failures no longer count as failures. then the fact that they are weak no longer is visible.
Down. Holy soy. Like, first of all, are you okay, Stevie? Like, dude, invest in a journal, not, basically
He's probably 5'4" and contending with Todd Howard for shortest man alive.
spilling your guts out on social media, because this stuff will be weaponized against you. You're basically shaming your potential customers and gamers in general by saying all these awful things. On the one hand, you also act like there's...
Now, to be fair against Stevie, if there's one thing this guy understands, it's the fact that he's trying to shame people. That is the only thing he probably understands that he's doing, and it's very intentional. He knows that he's trying to shame people, and he wants to do it, because without shaming, what else is there left for him to do? Not much. Not anything, in fact.
There's this horde of angry gamers that are just going out there for blood. But then in the next statement, you say they're the vocal minority. So what are they exactly? You're trying to downplay it. Well,
yeah, currently everyone's confused. Is the toxic fandom the vocal minority? But if they're the vocal minority, why are they responsible for franchises imploding? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Well, clearly they're not the vocal minority. They are the majority, because everything coming out of Ubisoft this year is flopping extremely hard. So clearly there's some merit to what these gamers are saying and their criticisms that they're providing for you. And this sort of like coddling and participation trophy type attitude here. Like, yes, these people might be doing their best, but at the end of the day, if it's not a good product, people aren't going to buy it and people are going to criticize it. You're in the gaming industry. You should know that this is going to happen. You don't just get pats on the...
Also, this happens in every industry.
...back because you tried your best. You need to produce something that's actually good. And on top of that, the part that's really crazy is the part where he basically throws other members of the industry under the bus. He tries to single them out and say, if you're agreeing with these nasty gamers, you're just as bad as them, and you're a...
Yeah, he effectively wants a situation like when Starfield came out, when the whole of the industry, for some stupid reason, came together, and all of the accepted access media people were just saying, "Oh, I love Starfield so much, it's so great. Everyone at Xbox is currently playing Starfield." Yeah. They want to do that, but again, it fails.
Non-decent human being. I mean, imagine being the colleague of someone like this who dares to criticize very apparently bad things in the industry just to be called a non-decent human being by Stevie here. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And this whole talk about we need to uplift each other and come together. Well, first of all, this is about as divisive of a post as you can possibly make. It's divisive against gamers. It's divisive against members of...
It's not divisive. It's supposed to name and shame the people, the gamers who don't like it, and force everyone to be in consolidation with Ubisoft as it's a good company and the game's really good and they're doing a good job. Again, I don't know if these people just inherently have some kind of fucking loser genetic memory implanted them when they are born, or how do they do this, but this is how they do it, and I'm not sure they're aware of it, but this is literally how they make everything out to be. Oh yeah.
Of the industry, but on top of that, we know what inclusion and coming together looks like for companies like Ubisoft. It's their own version, right? We see from their own website, the first thing they want you to know about their company is that they create games and experiences that push representation and embed diversity and inclusion into everything they do. Meanwhile, here's a
that's kind of insane.
An example of something that contradicts that. We have that mentorship program that people have been talking about, where basically they bar men from applying, which shock.
No. I obviously do identify as a woman. If you did not know, by the way, I am trans, black, Caucasian, mentally deficient, a woman with Cherokee Indian heritage, and I am oppressed and a demisexual. You literally cannot say anything bad about me, you Nazi. There you go. Bam. I'm the perfect candidate for this.
Shockingly turns out to be illegal in most countries, according to Legal Mindset, an actual attorney. Because yeah,
we obviously know that this is illegal. Oh, but still.
Who would have thought wacky, right? That barring an entire gender from applying to a career opportunity might be against the law in a lot of countries. I know that is a wacky, shocking thing to behold. But yeah, that's one of many disasters going on, and that post by that monetization director is absolutely tone deaf and against any interest of the company, which ironically is seeing a little bit of a boost. So here's the last year at Ubisoft. You've seen this graph probably a million times with their stock. Big drop.
Wait. 3 USD? Isn't it 13? Soft Entertainment ADR rep 1/5 or... He has the wrong graph, I think. Yeah, he has the wrong graph. Oh no! It's the right graph. He's just missing. He just. It shouldn't be cut off. What the fuck? Where the hell is his mouse that it's on? No, this is the Google Interactive graph. Oh no, this is no. This is the wrong. Yeah, this is the wrong Ubisoft thing. Yeah, it's the he has the wrong graph up, but that doesn't matter. Because this is, I don't know what they call this, but this effectively is the exact mirror, because I forgot what it's called. But yeah, even though the number is wrong, it's an exact 1-for-1 mirror.
All year, hitting an all-time low recently in the entire history of the company. But then, some life. What's this? A little jolt in the stock price here. Well, it comes from a buyout. So basically there is a proposed buyout, and now we've seen a 30%.
Yeah, we already talked about this. It's by Tencent, but it's probably not gonna happen, because Tencent just wants more Ubisoft shares, but they probably don't want to buy them for this much of a price. Tencent gains fucking nothing by just acquiring full ownership of Ubisoft. So
yeah, it's not too surprising to see movement like this issued to the board of directors.
Yeah, we also know this. By the way, this is complete bullshit. Whoever wrote this, I don't know why they even wrote this. I'm not gonna go through this, but this is kind of like this is a lot of fucking bullshit. It's effectively saying you shouldn't allow other companies to buy this stock, which they have no right to do. Effectively, yeah, I'm not gonna go through this, but they're blaming Ubisoft's leadership for things that stocks do on their own and are literally designed to do. So strange.
Thanks to this headline from about a week ago, where a Ubisoft activist investor said it has the support of 10% of the shareholders in the whole management tussle here, where under French minority law, if they get a certain percentage of the shareholders to get on board, they can force the sale of the company. And I think at this
yeah, people want to do this because it's just not getting better. People know this. Assassin's Creed is going to be a disaster. Star Wars Outlaws was a disaster. Ubisoft was telling everyone, Star Wars Outlaws is going to make us so much money, boys. Don't worry about it. And it's shit. It's done. It's completely Joker, in fact. So yeah, this none of this is good. None of this is good in the slightest. So they just want they just want to sell this off, because that's gonna end up in more money for the people who are stuck holding the bag. That effectively is it. That's why they want to do this, because they just know Ubisoft's cooked and nothing good is gonna happen here.
At this point, Ubisoft is starting to see the end, or at least a forced end, or some big decision that's going to be forced on them, like selling the company. And they are
well, to be fair, I'm not sure about the French stuff, because who cares about France, am I right? But if the sell-off happens, it may not be a full sell-off. They may sell, parts of the company. They may sell the rights of an IP. It's not necessarily guaranteed that this is going to be a full 100% sell-off in the first place.
Starting to consider this option that probably they shook their head at for a long time and thought, no way.
Yeah, but you know, Ubisoft is done. We know all of the rest of this information. Anyway, that was Rev Desu. Have a nice day. Bye.